Hey y'all. Hey Jakarius. Hey Brooklyn. Hope you guys can hear me. Well, my live stream is very delayed, but it's okay. Okay, yeah. Cool. How's it going, everybody? Is everyone well rested from the, time change, if you guys have it? I think you guys do in the US. Hey, Angel. But how's everyone doing? How was your weekend? This week was sad. You think so? I mean, obviously with Tyler, of course. Those last 5 minutes on Friday. Yeah, that was pretty intense, wasn't it? But like, not surprising. And we are going to talk about it, obviously. It's the thumbnail of the live stream. But I am saving it for last just because it's kind of like the biggest thing that happened. And we got lots to talk about today as well. But hey everybody, welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. What a week. Angel says child. Right? More like demon child. Lord. It really is Jakarius, and that is definitely something that I have in my notes because I want to rant because it's so stupid. But it really do be his fault though. Hey Jake. You almost forgot. Yeah, just that little part. Just that part of the show. Very much a blink and you miss it situation. But yeah, you guys, I felt well rested today. You know, I went to a concert last night as part of my job. And it was fun. And, you know, it ended before midnight and I got on the bus and just bussed it home. It's been a good weekend as well. My uncle's actually here at my house right now from BC. He was here for an arm wrestling tournament, which was fun to watch him in. But yeah. Actually, right now, my mom and him are watching a movie upstairs, and the woman who played Claudette on General Hospital happens to be in it, which my mom remembers her a little bit, because she was kind of watching back then. But yeah, some movie. It's not like a newer movie. I think it came out in 2020. But yeah, it's been a good weekend though. But yeah, welcome everybody. If y'all are ready, let me know and we can begin because we got a lot to talk about tonight. Ooh, it's also very foggy outside. It's just like mist. You guys can't see that I have a little window here, but I do. And it's, I can't see a thing outside. Not even my neighbor's house. Brooklyn, I literally have like kids out of the attic in my notes. It's like in my notes for the live stream tonight. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was great to see all the kids this week. We've seen every one of them, I think. Hey Nikisha. Yeah, Jake, how can you forget? Oh man. But yeah, before we get into the bigger drama, let's talk about a wholesome moment that I have personally been waiting for. This week kicked off with Sunny reuniting with Lois. And she calls herself a broad he used to know before he goes out to see her. which was everything I needed it to be. Like, the whole conversation was everything I needed it to be. Talking about the old neighborhood, Lois prying him on the drama going on in his life, from being arrested by the feds to eloping with Nina, and Lois insisting that she cooks on dinner. Like, it had all the things that I wanted to see within their scene. I gotta admit, it was weird hearing her talk about Carly, even though I know technically the character was around during some of the Sunny and Carly stuff, with a different actress, obviously. But I think it's safe to assume that they've probably kept in touch all these years, and, you know, she kind of has always known the going-ons in his life, through Brooklyn as well. But yeah, we also got to see Lois interacting with Leo on Halloween, which was adorable. I love how Lois is actually highly mathematically intelligent. She and Leo were just going at it, just challenging each other with equations and stuff. So I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. We also see Lois taking a break with Eddie, and she mentions the Brooklyn Bridge in their conversation, and he actually has a flashback remembering how on their wedding day they were on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. So he's starting to remember a little bit, and it inspires him to work a little bit more on the song that he's been working on, which I can only imagine will make for a really awkward moment down the road for Olivia and Lois. We'll see. I hate that we're not seeing too much of Olivia and Lois's friendship, though. Like, they're not really interacting that much, and that's one thing I was really looking forward to too, because we've heard about them like being a close-knit family all these years. So I want to see more. And Lois hasn't even seen Dante yet. Like, I'm so mad about it. What are y'all saying though? Not Monica finally released the kids out of the Q attic. Yeah, it's true. Nikki, said it was the most I've liked Sunny in a long time. Yeah, Maurice and Rena really have great like on-screen, like, I can't even talk today, guys. They have really great on-screen brother and sister chemistry. Like, they look like they're as close as their characters seem. They're really good at selling that, and I know that they've obviously kept it a bit in touch, because Maurice had Rena on his show last year, State of Mind. But, you know, it's nice to see it on screen again. Why wasn't Leo with the other kids? I don't know. I mean, maybe he just wanted to do his own thing. Maybe he's not really close with the others. Well, I mean, I guess he has to be to some extent. Particularly the Q ones, but maybe he just wanted to do his own thing, you know? Maybe, like, too much social interaction is not his thing. But anyway, yeah, so it looks like Eddie/Ned is starting to remember at least one tiny part of his life, which is good. Hopefully that'll lead to him remembering some other things, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But meanwhile, Tracy and Brooklyn finally talk face-to-face about her offer of giving Deception to her, and Brooklyn won't back down, and explains that even if Tracy's intentions are good, she can't take it because she feels like she would be giving up, on making a career for her own, which is respectable. She wants to be able to stand on her own feet and do something that she's passionate about, and she feels like, giving in to Tracy's offer would be like, like she'll feel like a failure to herself. So it's, whether whether Tracy's intentions were good or not, and I'm 50-50 on that myself. I think that Brooklyn's explanation is very respectable. And I'm actually rooting for Brooklyn to make something of her music career too, just to carry on her mother's legacy. And, I still want Lois to be a part of that as well. I want L&B Records revived and just have it be Lois and Brooklyn instead of Lois and Brenda. But yeah, anyway, just to take things back to Ned for a moment. Like I said, I really hope he gets his memories back sooner rather than later, because to me, it's becoming more and more clear that Michael is never gonna rat out Nina. I mean, it was obvious already, but now he's clearly starting to feel guilty about keeping this secret blackmailing of Nina to Willow, because Nina and Willow are such in a good place right now, and Wiley really loves her too. And the whole family got along on Halloween at Carly's Halloween party that she had at Kelly's. And even Carly and Nina were pretty civil. Obviously, she still can't stand Nina, but she knows how to be civil with Nina because, you know, for the sake of the family. But yeah, all the kids were at that party except for Leo. Like all the little kids. And one thing I'm gonna miss when we start seeing the original writers again are the kids, because, you know, these writers still seem to really care about family interaction and stuff. So we've seen the kids a lot more just in general. But the Halloween episode, like that took place on, well, like the first probably, because, you know, they're still a day behind. But we got to see the kids even get lines like amongst each other instead of just like being there to be cute in front of the parents and then running into the other room. We got to see them actually interacting with each other and talking to each other, which was cool. Because we rarely see that. We haven't seen that since like Emma, Cameron, Spencer, like the, you know, the original kid gang, and Jocelyn were like little kids. So it was nice to see that again. Hey, Sandy. We'll talk about Adam soon, for sure. One thing I want to say, one thing that I found hilarious, and this is just like a me specific thing, is that Michael and Willow and Sunny and Wiley, they kept mentioning the Biodome in Montreal. And if you guys are new here, I'm from Montreal. It's my hometown. I was just there a couple weeks ago. In Montreal, not the Biodome, but I have been to that Biodome before. It is actually pretty cool. I even video blogged it on this channel because I had gone back in 2016 and I already had Dion's Corner back then. And it's also right next to the Olympic Stadium, which is near the Botanical Gardens as well, and that place is really special for me and my family, just because my great uncle used to take me there when I was a baby. So like that whole area of town, like the garden and the Olympic Stadium and the Biodome, like that whole area is really special to me. Hey, Harmony might be trying to warn Willow and Michael about Michael and Nina. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second too. Aren't the Scab Writers still working within the guidance? Well, they're, in terms of the story, yes, but they can kind of dictate. They're the ones doing the day-to-day. So, like, they could tell these stories without necessarily having the kids have lines and things like that. So, like, regardless, you know, it would be a very different sort of who we're seeing and what they're doing under the other writers. Like, they're just kind of going from... They need to go from point A to point B with the original writer stories. But in terms of the day-to-day, they're really kind of holding the reins to that and showing who we need to see on screen and stuff. But yeah, that Biodome, y'all, like I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek into my life, okay? We're gonna take like a 2-minute break from like talking about GH, and I'm gonna show you the Biodome, okay? So you can kind of see what they're all like hyped about. Is it as hype as they're making it seem? I don't know. Like, they make it seem like it's this amazing thing, and it's pretty amazing. It's just that, you know, it's just a Biodome. I don't know. But yeah, let me show you guys just what this Biodome looks like, and you'll get to see my mom and my grandmother too, because we're all in this video blog together. Because this was the trip where we all went together. And obviously I'm okay with showing them to you because it's already on my channel. But yeah, prepare yourselves for the infamous Biodome that everyone was discussing today. Or I mean on Wednesdays, whatever episode, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesdays. Let me switch that up quickly here. There we go. I swear my there we go.
Feels like my olden days back in the 80s. Nothing's much changed about the
And yes, we took the metro to get there. It's crazy to drive in Montreal, y'all. Don't do it. It's a trap.
We're on our way to the Biodome.
So this is the Biodome here, you guys. And yes, I montaged it out because that's what I do. I'd like to see the Las Vegas Sphere too, Angel. Like, it is impressive to see how much wildlife they have in there. And yes, my editing skills making it sound like I'm underwater, when really it's just the aquarium part. Oh, man. Exclusive content, you guys. You're getting a window into the Montreal Biodome. Or Montreal, as they pronounce it. This is inside, by the way. This is inside the Biodome, and they just make it look outside. Like it's outside, sorry. It's such a cool place. I'd go back again for sure. Just that these days when I go, I'm I'm hanging out with friends and just like going to bars and stuff. But yeah, obviously like kids would get a kick out of this. You know what I mean? It does have its appeal for sure. Oh, I had to walk.
They are on a bike, and I am walking because he can only take 2 people because it's a hill, which is great. Super great. So we have now entered the Jardin Botanique et Insectarium in Montreal, and apparently when I was a baby, I would come here with my late great Uncle Gerald.
I just paddled out to the sea of
I covered this song once.
Don't know why.
Yeah, this is the Botanical Gardens, which is literally obviously like just a walk away, but it's up a hill. So that sucked for me, but
and carry me in. I hope you'll be waiting when I come back.
that's my mom and grandmother, y'all.
Because these 4 walls surround us. These 4 walls they know. These 4 walls.
Also, the squirrels in Montreal are gigantic. I have no idea why. They're so small here in Edmonton, but
Sorry, Nanny.
You ready to cross this way?
No.
You coming?
yeah. You're welcome, Nikisha. Oh, you don't have stuff like this in Kansas? Yeah, this is really cool to see. Oh, but yeah, if y'all have someone in a wheelchair, this is not the Botanical Gardens is not a good place. We were laughing our asses off. My poor grandmother was terrified.
Oh, one more hill.
Oh my gosh, so good. All right, but there you have it, folks. That's the Biodome and the Botanical Gardens, which, if I remember correctly, like there was a way to pay for both of them at the same time because that's how close they were. Like there was like a deal. Whether that deal is still there today, I don't know, but it was back in 2016. So yeah, since Sunny was promoting it, if you ever are in Montreal, go to the Biodome. It's really cool, you guys. Ah, man. But anyway, on with the show. Ooh, did I put the music too loud? Is this okay? Alright. But enough about me. Let's get back onto it. So, when Michael realized that Willow genuinely wanted to go to Montreal with Nina and the kids, that's when it was becoming obvious to me that he was starting to feel guilty about keeping blackmailing Nina a secret. I didn't get the sense that he was contemplating telling her the truth about Nina, though. I just think he'll stop using what he knows to prevent Nina from spending time with Willow, Amelia, and Wiley. I do want the truth to come out about Nina, though. Don't get it twisted. And when it does, I also want the truth to come out about the fact that Michael knew and said nothing. So hopefully Ned does the honors when he gets his memories back. And I hope that Nina is petty enough to drag Michael under the bus with her. Because I cannot stand him. But yeah, also, there are 2 more things that's giving him incentive to back down. One of them being the fact that Willow explained that the dream she's been having about Harmony involves her trying to tell her that someone is not being truthful to her. And I think he thinks it's him. And then the other reason is that Drew was released from jail. And to be honest, I had a feeling that we were going to see him show up this week, because all the talk that we've had this week about, it being radio silent, there was no news about anything, no one's heard anything. Alexis mentioned it, Carly mentioned it, Sam mentioned it. Like, it was mentioned everywhere. So yeah, and then lo and behold, Drew shows up at Kelly's after Carly had already closed it. And they had their very romantic kiss and reunion. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of inevitable for the story to end this way anyway. I mean, Drew being in jail was another story that happened because Cameron Matheson was supposed to be working on a movie that obviously couldn't be worked on given the strike that was happening. So it ended up being as pointless as Esme causing friction between Spencer and Trina was over the summer. So they got him out of there. But what are y'all saying? Yeah, it is a gorgeous place, Jake. It really is. It's so beautiful there, and they do a good job maintaining both the Biodome and the Botanical Gardens. Obviously, for the gardens, you had to be there in the summer when everything's blooming and stuff. That trip was the end of August, I think, or like mid-August. And it's still very much the thick of summer at that time. Whereas Edmonton is already starting to get signs of fall at that time. There wasn't an accessible route in the gardens. Not for that particular area. Most of it actually is, but but that, like, you had to cross that bridge to get to a certain part in the gardens. And who knows, maybe they've changed it by now too, because what the gardens looked like when I was a baby, based on the videos that I've seen that my parents have shown me, it was very different from what it was in 2016. And I haven't been back there since to the Biodome. The Botanical Gardens. I've been to that area though. I've been by the Olympic Stadium. I've been in it as well since then. So, the stadium, I mean. But yeah. Hopefully they've changed it a bit. But yeah, moving on though, let's talk about Spencer and Trina. Because even though they don't really have friction due to Esme as much as they did during the summer, it doesn't mean that they don't have other drama to contend with. Trina had a nightmare that Cyrus was going to kidnap her or to use her as a hostage or something like that, and Spencer was just going to let it happen in the nightmare. And what did I say last week, y'all? It felt like Spencer did very little to make him leave, and even though Trina says that she trusts that Spencer will protect her from him, she had this conversation with Jocelyn, there's obviously a little part of her that feels like he can't or won't do anything about Cyrus and her interacting. Interestingly enough, Cyrus showed up at Spencer's place when no one but Ace and Esme were there, and when Spencer got home, he couldn't get them out of there fast enough. And I wish that he convinced Trina to just take a walk so that he could have a moment alone with Cyrus to tell him to back off. That said, he did have that conversation with Cyrus and sort of made it known how he truly feels about Cyrus, which, I have to give him props for, because it was certainly better than what he did when they were in the gallery. Maybe he was a bit thrown, but still. And Laura, told him off as well when she got home. When's a good time to visit Canada? Summer for sure. Definitely summer. There's a lot to do in the summer here. But also if you don't hate cold weather, then winter is fine too. Like, you know, there's skiing and there's like really cool mountains to go skiing on, and especially in Alberta and the Rocky Mountains. But Montreal, my favorite time of year to go is the summer. And the fall's all right too, as long as it's like early fall. I haven't been to Montreal in the spring since I was a kid. So I've been every other season since I've been an adult, but yeah, I haven't been there in the spring. But I'm sure it's great. I'm sure their snow melts really fast, whereas ours on the west side of Canada, not so much. Where was I though? Where was I in my notes? Oh, Cyrus, yeah. So I can't believe that Cyrus still has the audacity to continuously get into everyone's faces, fully expecting them to buy his "I'm a changed man of God" act that he's been trying to sell. This man, he has to know that no one buys it, and that he's just doing this to gloat, pretty much, right? Like, I don't know. Like, he can't be delusional enough to truly think that anyone actually is going to buy it or to give him a chance. You know what I mean? Spencer can't fight. Well, he might not be able to fight, but like, I don't think Cyrus is gonna like shove him back, but like, tell him to get the hell out, and like, you know, like, slowly like maneuver him to the door. Like, I'm not saying that Spencer has to throw hands, but he knows how to use his voice. Trina used hers. Like, a simple "get the hell out" would have been fine. He's got to learn how to fight like his father, Tyler Christopher. Tyler Christopher's Nicholas. Yeah. But every other Nicholas after that couldn't fight for shit. The amount of times that, like, Drew, when he was Jake, like, pulverized him. Damn. Although I think he might have done that to Tyler, too. Tyler's Nick. For a little bit, anyway. But yeah, like, Cyrus, straight up, like, I don't even know. He even went to Carly this week and tried to get himself a job at Kelly's. Like, be for real, dude. Like, I don't know. Get it, like, if you're wanting to sell, and I doubt that he wants to sell it, but if he were wanting to, he would just go get a job elsewhere that has nothing to do with any of the people that he wronged. You know what I mean? If he's truly trying to sell that he's a changed man, he'd give people their space. Not that he needs one, because he can just pull from the funds from that place that he placed all his money into in the first place. That's how he got Scott to be his lawyer. Cyrus would probably shoot Spencer if he felt like it. Yeah, but like, the fact that he was at least appearing to try and sell that he's a changed man, like, he wouldn't have done it in that moment with Trina. You know what I mean? But yeah, that man got no loyalty. You right. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about some, like, nice stuff with Spencer and Trina. We got to see them dress up as the Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood this week for Halloween, and they looked adorable. I don't know if you've seen, like, the General Hospital social media pictures of them, but they were having a blast. And Spencer looked great as the Big Bad Wolf. Where's Cyrus staying at? Good question. I have no idea. Yeah, where is he staying? Like, I don't think he's staying at the Metro Court. But yeah, I don't know. Good question, Brooklyn. Maybe we'll find out. Tyler's Nicholas did get bodied by Billy Miller's Jason, but it's Jason we were talking about. Yeah. Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that. Both Tyler and Billy, my god. Oh. Man. What a rough year for GH. I still can't believe it. To that end, I know I made a community post on it, but if you guys want me to do a part 2 on Tyler Christopher's tribute this Wednesday, let me know. because like I said in the last live stream, Tyler was one of my favorite actors, and obviously I had to skip a few clips because of how late it was going, because we were just talking for a long time and reading all the tributes and stuff. Now it would just be strictly the clips, the clips that we did miss, of course, and maybe some others if I can find some. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, also in terms of back to Spencer and Trina, they went to an off-screen house party that apparently they couldn't get away from fast enough, and spent the rest of it at the gallery dancing the night away, which was cute. I wish we'd seen more of them dancing. It was like 5 seconds. But not that it mattered for them getting away from the party, because that party ended up getting raided by the cops though, and I feel like we kind of need to address it, because I have a theory on in terms of another storyline and how the raided party kind of ties into it. But yeah, the storyline is really about Jocelyn and Dex and Adam. Jocelyn's been spending a lot of time with Adam recently. He's, if you don't know, another PCU kid, played by Joshua Bernard, who is Maurice Bernard, aka Sonny's real life son. They've been studying midterms together, and he's opened up about his anxiety and that he has due to his parents' high expectations. And we know it's genuinely something that's going on with the character, because we've seen him stress about his marks on screen away from Jocelyn too. It's not like some made up story he's kind of making to have her pity him or something. But they've also subtly been letting us know that he clearly has a crush on Jocelyn as well, and that anytime Dex shows up to whisk her away on a date or something, he clearly feels some type of way about it. Dex picked Jocelyn up to go to this house party, and it seems that not long after they got there, it got raided. And I feel like Adam called the cops to try and spoil Dex and Jocelyn's night so that she'd come back to the dorms again. That's my theory, though. What do you guys think? I don't know. And where do you think the writers are going to go with Adam? Because personally, it wouldn't surprise me if they were going to make this a mental illness storyline with Joshua, given his father's advocacy for mental health. I just hope that they don't make it too over the top and turn him into some crazy stalker killer or something, you know, very soapy. I don't want him to be a stalker, you know. I think that Josh seems to be a pretty decent actor, which is great, thankfully, because, you know, it's always a bit awkward when you can when you know that, like, someone's been hired based on who they know on the show, and we've seen it happen a few times. So thank God the kid has some chops of his own. What are y'all saying? Oh, Cyrus is probably staying at the Metro Court, and Nina and Olivia both don't know. Surely they would have to. Surely they would have to. Everyone knows who Cyrus is in town anyway, or that's what they make it seem like. Yeah, you're down for a part 2? Trina was beautiful as Little Red. Yes, she was. Adam being punished by his parents that he got busted by the police for partying. Parents like Adam's are scary. I have seen classmates in college almost break down and cry to our professors about getting a B on the exam. The pressure is real. Yeah, I've had friends with parents like that too. It's not a pretty thing to deal with. And if he already has like anxiety and mental illness, and that's just gonna like affect him far more than it would if he was just like a kid not dealing with those issues to begin with, you know what I mean? But yeah, moving on, let's talk a little bit about Ava. It turns out someone is interested in buying Windermere, but they are anonymous, and was like the offer that was made through a holding company. Ava wasn't impressed, but Lucy insisted that that's just how things are done these days. And Ava demands the full price paid up front, which could potentially make it a more difficult sell for the buyer to remain interested, according to Lucy anyway. But if I were a betting man, I would think that Nicholas is probably the buyer so that he can, get Windermere out from underneath Ava discreetly. So that he has a place to go when he does make his way back to Port Charles. But yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, though, Laura paid Ava a visit and gave her an update on Nicholas. That she found out that that Nicholas is alive and has been seen in Switzerland or wherever he was. And it obviously threw Ava for a loop. I actually forgot that Ava didn't realize that Nicholas was alive somewhere. Because, it's like, oh, that's over. Like, after the Austin and Mason stuff kind of ended for her, I didn't really think too much about it. But yeah. But when she finds out, she does decide to give Austin a call and confronts him on whether or not he knew that he was alive. Austin swears he didn't, but we know better. And I think that Ava does too, because she's no dummy. She's going to keep her thoughts to herself and find the right moment to figure it out. I hope the new buyer is Nicholas. I feel like it is. It has to be, right? By the way, in case you were wondering, because it was kind of the big thing that we talked about on last Sunday's live stream, but Austin did not kill Mason. TJ did stop him from doing so because he didn't want Austin to throw his life away. Little does TJ know he's up to his neck in the Cyrus mess himself. Otherwise, I don't think he would have bothered to save him from himself. TJ confronted Mason too, just to gloat about relishing in the fact that Mason will be going to jail for what he did to Ava, even if he doesn't go to jail for what he did to TJ. So growth. Ava needs to stop dealing with Austin for real. Austin is a horrible liar. I think after last week that she will. I think that she knows that she can't trust him. And of course Austin Ass is denying it. Yeah. Austin can go now. I'm so over Austin and Mason, you guys. Hey Nathan. Just talking about GH, You missed it. We were talking about the Biodome in Montreal because I have been there, and I showed a little vlog from my trip there the last time I was there. Well, look at what they are doing with Curtis and the disability storyline. It sucks. Yeah, but Maurice is like their king at GH, so I feel like Maurice is probably gonna have a hand in it if they're letting his son handle that story. Oh, I watched an interview with the guy who plays Mason. Him and Roger didn't know who their characters were to each other. And then Mason read his lines and said, "Hey, cuz." Interesting. Well, to be honest, when he first mentioned that he was his cousin, I thought it was just a cover. And I think it probably was meant as a cover to Mason just being a Goomba for Cyrus or whoever. And then they just eventually decided to make him his actual cousin. That's how I read it. It's getting to the point where I want to fast forward every scene with him. Man. But yeah. There are just some storylines that should just end. Or at least storylines that should happen off screen. Speaking of which, let's talk about Molly and Christina. Because apparently they made up off screen. Like, I was just watching those scenes. I think it was Friday's episode, and I was just like, what? I don't know. Maybe the writers got the memo that nobody was actually interested in this storyline because this sudden out of nowhere tension between them was ridiculous to begin with. And good news, it's still the previous actress that played Molly. We didn't get the fourth or fifth act, whatever number they're on since they've let Haley go. We didn't get a newer one besides the one that we seen last time. which is great. And I was wondering what was going on with that, because it was kind of weird that we hadn't seen her since like that last time that we had seen her, because it's been a few weeks. But yeah, there were some wholesome scenes between Molly, Christina, and Alexis, hanging out and discussing baby names, while Alexis remained on edge anytime Molly and Christina could potentially disagree on something again and ruin their progress in making up. And I think that Christina and Molly were kind of getting a kick out of that and like playing up to it a little bit, just to make Alexis seem like she's going crazy. The actors feel the same way. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I think they just decide to roll with it because they really they don't seem to know what they're doing with Austin at all. They haven't since the beginning. They've been throwing him around in every storyline and seeing what sticks, which is exactly what they did when he was Franco as well. Like, I don't know. I just don't think. I know it worked for some with Franco. I don't think it's gonna work with Austin. You know what I mean? Like, and we talked about it last week. They need to let the man go. Let Roger go. Let him thrive somewhere else. I'm over it. I don't want to see Roger on screen anymore. I don't care. I know people love him. I don't care. It's the preferential treatment for me that pisses me off when it comes to Roger. Because it just makes the storyline suffer, you know? Like, how many rewrites did we sit with Franco before they finally stuck to something? It was like 2 years worth of rewrites just to make the character work. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the show suffers for it. Am I late? And it says 7. Well, it's daylight savings time. So Canada and the US went back an hour, so maybe you guys don't have the same daylight savings. But yeah, we've been on for 45 minutes. We're like halfway through. But we haven't talked about the major stuff. Like, just I'll catch you up, Kaiwan. Like, what we talked about so far. We talked about Eddie Main having a flashback to his and Lois's wedding day. We talked about Michael seeming to contemplate backing down on Nina because of how Willow's getting along with her. We talked about Drew getting out of prison. We talked about Spencer and Trina on Halloween, Jocelyn, Dex, and Adam, and how we're wondering where things are going to go with Adam. It's either going to be a mental illness storyline. We're hoping that he's not a stalker. That's kind of what we were talking about. We talked about the kids on Halloween. And we talked about Ava finding out that Nicholas is alive. And then Molly and Christina. So, you know, all the kind of minor stuff. We haven't gotten to the big, shebang yet. We're saving the best for last, okay? But yeah. Also, before we move on from Christina and Molly, Christina kept on bringing up Blaze during their hangout. They're really trying to sell these two as a potential couple. Again, I don't see romantic chemistry between them, but to each their own. And speaking of Blaze, she officially turned down Deception's offer, not long after meeting Sasha herself. Seems like she's rooting for her to remain the face like Maxie and Tracy are. And Maxie even makes the effort to offer Sasha her job back, and Sasha accepts, mostly because of the damage done to Sasha's expenses, courtesy of Gladys, of course, which is why I think it's so dumb that Gladys is just getting away with it. Like, the only thing that she is really getting a punishment out of is that she can't interact with Sunny anymore. Or Sasha. Like, she just can't be in the same town. But anyway, speaking of Sasha, we saw two things this week. That Sasha, Cody, Dante, and Sam's friendship is continuing to flourish. As Cody and Sasha agreed to help them renovate their family room, Dante and Sam's. And we've seen Sasha and Cody spending Halloween together, which was cute. I don't know. What can I say? I don't mind them as a couple. I like them as a couple. And I don't mind them forming a quad with Sam and Dante either. Whatever keeps Sasha happy at this point. Like, I just need there not to be drama in Sasha's life for a minute, you know? Like, I am cool with them just hanging out and having a good time for a while. Like, I know that there is potential drama in terms of the Max stuff, because now she's going to be working with Maxie again, and, you know, now she's going to kind of keep the secret from Maxie that Mac has a kid. But I also think that Maxie would understand given what she's been through with Cody, so I don't think it would be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Blaze picked the ice cream joint. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she picked their ice cream. And since we kind of slightly touched base on Lucy a little bit, one thing that I haven't mentioned is that Lucy is still determined to regain majority of control of Deception, so that she can have creative control of her vision over Tracy's. While she had originally wanted to try and get the full company back, she did realize that all she really needs is 2%, so she can gain that control again. And she's going to try to scheme her way back into running things. Not that I believe that she'll do it successfully, because let's face it, it's Tracy. But she's going to try. It's going to give her something to do. Girl hasn't had a break since stepping into Port Charles. Exactly. Like, I'm okay with Sasha just coasting on screen for a while and seeing her make friends and bond with people and just have a decent life for a while, for God's sakes. Yeah, you just see Blaze and Christina as friends. So do I. Like, I think they're trying to make them happen as a couple, and it's like they're writing lines for Christina to say to make her seem like she's obsessed with Blaze or like crushing on her. But the actress, and maybe this is her choice, I don't know, but she doesn't seem like she's harboring feelings for Blaze. But it feels like the writers are trying to make us believe that. That's the vibe I get. Hopefully get some ELQ stock back. I don't care if Lucy gains ELQ stock back. That was a silly plot twist anyway back in the day. Brought on by Ron Carlivati, I think. Oh, you think they have chemistry? I don't know. I don't see the chemistry. I see friendship chemistry. I just don't see romantic chemistry. All right, y'all. But it is time to talk about, the biggest drama that happened this week. Saved it for last. Sorry, y'all. I mean, look, given everything else that we've talked about today, I think this particular storyline seems like the thing that we should end on. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's discuss what happened with Charlotte Cassadine this week, because boy, is it a doozy. Charlotte, she wanted to go trick-or-treating on her own with her friends. It was very important to her, even though Valentine really wanted to chaperone her for obvious reasons of not wanting her to be left alone, to give her an opportunity to do something to Anna again. But he agrees he'll stay away, provided she goes and has a session with Kevin as her shrink. And she reluctantly agrees to it. And when she goes, she reveals absolutely nothing to Kevin. And he comes to the conclusion that she's mastered the art of saying what she thinks everyone wants to hear and doing it convincingly. But, nothing gets past Kevin because he's a shrink. However, getting her to open up about anything will not be a small feat. What are y'all saying? Oh, the drum rolls. Nice, Jake. All right. But yeah. Meanwhile, Anna gets offered a new place to live. courtesy of Felicia and Maxie. She hadn't sublet her old place. Sorry, Maxie hadn't sublet her old place yet since moving into Lulu's. And Felicia has the idea of letting Anna do it. It's a safe neighborhood. It's a safe apartment building. There's 24-hour security. There's lots of families that live in that building. So Anna agrees, and she feels good about it. So much so that she tells Sonny that she no longer needs his bodyguard. She then goes to Valentine to share the good news with him and shows him the key. And then, conveniently, right after that, Charlotte accidentally burns the cookies that she was baking for her friends. And Anna and Valentine go into the kitchen to put the fire out. And Charlotte takes that opportunity to grab the keys when nobody's looking, which we didn't learn until later on. But they did make it obvious that that's what was going to happen anyway. And then Anna also has this box of things that was apparently left in Robin's storage for whatever reason, even though it's like a box of like secret files, like almost essentially classified stuff of her own that shouldn't get out to the public except for her. And it was just in her daughter's storage. But anyway, she gets that box and gets Robert to help her move it into her new place. I just hope that it doesn't intervene with Robert and Diane's date. That was another thing that happened this week. Diane kind of sort of asked Robert out to a setting that involves him having to wear a tux, and he was pretty giddy about getting a tux, and needless to say, he didn't get the tux because of having to help out Anna. I don't know. I just, it's just gonna be another thing of someone from Robert's past interfering with their relationship. Unknowingly. Even though Diane really has nothing to really fear over Anna and Robert, because they've definitely grown to have this like sort of brother-sister bond nowadays instead of like a romantic thing. Where was I? Sorry. Okay, so yeah, anyway, Anna digs through that box and she finds some file that talks about this guy named Forsyth, something like that. From some off-screen situation, of course. We know it ain't him that's doing all this stuff to Anna, but she seems to think so. And she even goes over to Robert to mention it. And now during that time, Valentine had already dropped Charlotte along with Jake, Georgie, and Danny to a neighborhood to trick-or-treat. And when Charlotte got the opportunity to sneak away, she took it, keys in hand, and new creepy tarot card costume instead of the cheerleader costume that we had seen her in a bag that she then switched into to escape. Robert needs to ask Diane on a date. Yeah, he does. Alright, but yeah, anyway, so Charlotte sneaks into Anna's new place and broke in. She started digging around. I'm not really sure what exactly she was looking for, but Anna gets back there and realizes the door is unlocked, so she like discreetly pushes the door open, aims her gun. She sees Charlotte, but she doesn't know it's Charlotte. It's just someone in some kind of weird dark costume, and you can't see her face. Her flashlight had even burned out, so like she can't see her face at all, and it's just dark in the room. So when Charlotte jumps in fear, Anna takes a shot, and Charlotte goes down. So at that point, she obviously didn't know it was Charlotte, and that's where the episode ends. But in the preview, it's clear that she sees that it is Charlotte that went down. So I don't know. At this point, I ain't even mad. Like, I won't lie, you guys. Like, as long as I've been doing GHMV, which is like, what, like, since Robin left the show with Patrick, I started the show. and since then, I've always called Charlotte a demon child. You know, I've never had use for this child. However, Anna ain't even to blame for Charlotte's stupidity in the first place. But you know who is to blame for Charlotte getting shot? It's her damn father, Valentine. Because there was absolutely no reason to hide this from Anna. Like, what was she gonna do? What was Anna gonna do to Charlotte? Nothing. She wouldn't have done a damn thing to Charlotte, okay? Like, it is so stupid. Like, did he really think that she was gonna go after this teenager for what she did? Like, if anything, Anna would have just been relieved that it was just Charlotte that was doing these things. I mean, not that we're completely out of the woods for whoever burned Anna's house down, but like, you know, like, at least she would have at least felt like she had some peace of mind. And Anna, like, poor Anna's been walking around terrified this whole time, which is a little bit out of character for her, to be honest, but, you know, like, given her abilities as a super spy, it's kind of stupid, but I digress. Like, Valentine could have eased her mind, and he should know her well enough at this point to know that she wouldn't have blamed Charlotte, because it would be obvious that she was influenced by Victor, and she's just a kid. Like, it's so dumb to me, like, that this happened at all. And, you know, I'm gonna be, you know, next time I see Valentine on screen when he's mortified that Anna shot Charlotte, I'm just gonna look at him like, whose fault is it, Valentine? It's yours. Anna told you to stop lying to her, and you continue to lie to her for absolutely no reason. There was no reason to not tell her that Charlotte did this. None. Like, it's so... Oh, it makes me so annoyed. It makes me so annoyed, y'all. Hey, DG, what are y'all saying? For once, it was a good cliffhanger, but my guess is that she missed, or it's just a flesh wound. I don't think she missed, because we see Anna going over her body looking terrified. But it probably is nothing fatal. But hopefully it convinces Valentine to stop lying to her. But I think, you know, like, I think Anna's gonna have to live with the guilt of shooting Valentine's kid because of his lies. And I think she's gonna break up with him, deadass. Like, I think, like, I don't know. I've never been an Anna and Valentine fan, so I couldn't care less. But this woman has already been on the fence about Valentine, you know what I mean? So I feel like this should end it. Like, because of you, I shot a child. If you had warned me that it was Charlotte, none of this would have happened. Like, for God's sakes. And Jake is freaking out looking like Jason. Can you imagine if they try to make it as if Charlotte orchestrated the Metrocorp pool shooting? I mean, I think that it's kind of been established that, I don't know if it's really been established, but I think Anna's already come to the conclusion that that shot was meant for Sunny. And it's definitely in the realm of possibility, given Cyrus's connections, and even Selena's for that matter. You know what would be interesting though? If, like, Selena shot Curtis but made it look like she was, or like got someone to shoot at Curtis but made it look like she was trying to shoot for someone else and let it ricochet to hit Curtis. You know, just to get the club from underneath him or something. That would be a plot twist. I would actually be cool with that plot twist, because they're making it seem like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But, you know, making him the actual target, that would be like a good twist, in the sense that they've only really been toying with the idea that it was meant for Sunny or meant for Anna. You've been watching old clips of Jason, Q, and Keisha. We should react to that sometime. Maybe we will. React to Jason Quartermain. It's time for Lulu to come out of that coma. Yeah, I'm ready, but I don't want it to be Emmy Rylan. Yeah, Selena killed people. Yeah, I like. I mean, I do want it to be Selena taking a shot at Curtis, because she was all up in his face just before that, just like trying to convince him to, you know, to change the DNA test and, you know, make it seem like he is or isn't the father of Trina, and he wasn't taking the bait. And I think she knew that the WSB was kind of in his ear as well. So I don't know. I think it would make sense, and it would be a good plot twist. Angel, you said very reminiscent of when Sonny shot Dante, but Olivia should have told Sonny that Dante was his son sooner rather than later. Oh yeah, the Anna and Charlotte stuff. Yeah. That'd be good, Dion, but ultimately I want Selena to go after Sonny's territory. Who says that she can't do both? I would love... I mean, obviously she's having to stay in Sonny's good graces for now, but Selena's very much of like whatever will bring her to the top. And we've talked about it before on this live stream. I think she's gonna do what it takes to stay on top with whoever comes out on top between Sonny and Cyrus, and then take their moment, whoever's on top's moment of vulnerability, pull the rug from underneath them and take the territory for herself. Please no Emmy Ryland. Recast a part of Lulu. Yeah, I need a Lulu recast. I don't know if Julie's available. She has 2 kids now, and yeah, I don't know. She doesn't seem to be doing acting anymore. At least for now, while she's being a mom. And maybe she's content with that, who knows. I would personally love to see Julie back in the role. But I don't want to give myself that kind of hope. I want, you know, I'm down for them to find a new Lulu. As long as she knows how to play her with a bit of feist. It doesn't make her like a complete airhead like she was written as under Emmy. DG said I'd love Selena to do both. Lydia Luck is being wasted. Yeah, she really is, and she's such a good actress, and she's so fun to watch. Like, cause she's so sassy, but she plays like scary pretty well as well. I don't know. Yeah, I want to see more of Selena, and I think Lydia does a great job. But yeah, that's it, guys. I think that's all she wrote. I mean, let's face it. I could have mentioned Liz and Finn still being at that wherever they are, Vermont. But I think I said enough last week about it. So, and apparently Elizabeth is back in town anyway. So, yeah, they gotta write Lulu with feist. Wow, Julie has 2 kids. Didn't know that. The last time I saw her, she was on Chicago Med. They recast. I hope they spend money and get an established actress. There are tons of out-of-work soap actors. Yeah, it's true. Nobody cares about Liz and Finn. I'm sure they have their base for sure. It's just that nothing really happened with them this week. They slept together again at the cabin. Like, what to talk about? You know what I mean? That didn't move a story. It was just more of the same that we already talked about last week. You like Liz and Finn better than Cody and Brando was put Finn with Sasha? Nah, I like Cody and Sasha. Oh yeah, Cam has a new girlfriend. I forgot about that. Yeah, obviously this is happening off screen, and her name is Yuki. Don't know why they threw that in there, but if William Lipton decides to return to the show, then they'll be bringing on a girlfriend with him. And I think that weren't there rumors that he was going to come back to the show anyway? And it just never came to fruition yet, but they kind of made it seem like he was only going to be gone for like a few months and then kind of come back. But we'll see with time. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Cameron making his return to the show, and if they bring in another girl to mix things up with, even better, because we got Jocelyn, we got Trina, we got Dex, we got Spencer, we got Adam. Let's throw in a Yuki and a Cameron. Make it like the older teen scene, because it's a scene that needs to be built up a little bit. Finn and Liz had a maple syrup and apple orgy. I don't know if you were here for last live stream or last Sunday's live stream, DG, but as a Canadian who stereotypically knows a thing or two about maple syrup, you can't get that much sap from a tree in the fall. Okay, that is a springtime thing, and it doesn't just ooze out as maple syrup. Okay. You gotta do shit to it. And yes, I know they're not in Canada, but it is the same in the US, okay? Yeah, it has to be the springtime, otherwise they're gonna get barely a drop at this time of year from the tree, okay? Maybe we'll see Cameron for the holidays. I hope so. Didn't think getting sap was that easy either. No, it is not. You don't just stick a pipe in a tree any time of year and get it. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, Lordy. But yeah, that's all she wrote, you guys. So I think we will do a part 2 to a Tyler Christopher tribute on Wednesday. I'll obviously line up the clips that we didn't get to watch because we were short on time a little bit, and we're gonna keep it to just clips because I know there's probably more tributes that have kind of come in terms of actors that interacted with him in the past. But we already did all the most important ones, and actually, you know what? I'm really surprised, and I looked it up earlier today. Becky never said anything about Tyler, I don't think, at all. Which is wild, because they interacted pretty early on in his career on GH. So, I don't know. But maybe she's just grieving, quietly on her own. Who knows? It is what it is. None of our business, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I think we'll end it here. Yeah, there will be part 2 for sure. And yeah, I watched Maurice's State of Mind tribute for Tyler as well. It really is just a replay of what we had already seen in an interview with him before. But Maurice starts it with a tribute to Tyler and talks about their last interaction. That's true. Yeah, Natalia Livingston, but I don't think Natalia's very active on social media either. Eva Longoria, I mean, it's an ex, and maybe they just didn't end on good terms, you know what I mean? Who knows? But yeah, Becky did have a ton of scenes with Tyler. But who knows? It is what it is. Maybe she'll speak on it eventually, or maybe she never will, and it's either way, it's kind of not our business to... I don't know. I just don't want people to go on to her social media and be like, why didn't you say anything about Tyler? She doesn't have to. She's under no obligation. It's kind of like Kelly and Billy. Kelly didn't say anything either. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to end the live stream here. Thanks you so much for tuning into the live stream. If you liked this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I would truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday for part 2 of a tribute for the dearly departed Tyler Christopher. Peace out. Mwah. Good night.